You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you this hour by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. Today in our show, in our last segment, we're going to be talking about legislation. We touched on it just a little bit at the State Fair when we were there, and that is 5th Congressional Congressman Keith Ellison and another gentleman, Gary Peters, I believe is the name, have put together some legislation on how to take care of this large group of homes that are underwater and people that are having a hard time making their mortgage payments. We're going to deal with his proposed solution a little bit more here in the next segment. But right now we want to talk about another story, and this has come out of Menifee, California. And this said the title is Sun City. The NAACP is denied a meeting request. And this is from October 16th from the Press Enterprise. It says that a homeowners association in Menifee, California, has again refused to let a local NAACP chapter to meet in their facilities. A decision derided by the civil rights organization's leader as one tinged with prejudice. So apparently the general manager of the Sun City Civic Association, her name is Nancy Davis, told the NAACP that their application was denied based on that it was a political organization, and they said our rules and regulations are clear where we do not allow political organizations to meet.
This homeowners association does not provide facilities to political organizations.
Now, the person who is with that chapter of the NAACP, her name is Mary Venerable. She's the president of that branch. She feels that it's probably tinged with prejudice, and that the association is not letting them meet there is one that is showing discrimination. The board rejected their first request August 14th in a 6-1 vote. Now in September, they came by again, and they were denied.
Again.
Even though this person from the NAACP, she said, we're not a political organization. Can you find that quote?
Here she says she provided the mission statement for the NAACP to this homeowners association to prove that they're not a political organization. The mission statement says the organization aims to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights of all persons and to eliminate race-based discrimination. The association doesn't allow political activities. What confuses me, Gene?
Yeah.
Later in the article, there is a quote from Christopher Witt, who's an assistant poli-sci professor at Augustana College in Illinois. He says, the NAACP is not a political organization, but it does get involved in politics.
Wait.
That sounds like a contradiction.
Say that.
Okay.
Say that's what's his statement again?
Here's their defense. Why they think they should be allowed to meet in this association. The NAACP is not a political organization, but it does get involved in politics.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Let's take a look at this, and let me. I would ask you. Let's insert something else to see if it makes sense using a different topic.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm involved with murder, but I'm not a murderer.
I'm not a murderer, but I do get involved with
in murder. Yeah.
To me,
does that fly?
I don't think that flies in a court of law.
Yeah.
I think if you're even involved in in murder,
By the
you
way,
are
I'm
considered
not.
guilty. Considered guilty if there is a murder.
But we're involved.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So they're saying we're involved. So isn't that exactly what
we're
they're
not
saying?
a political organization, but we're involved in politics. Now they say an organization would donate to political campaigns or endorse candidates, and the NAACP doesn't do that, but they do support political causes.
Yes.
Especially when it pertains to civil rights. I think this is a very, very fine hair they're splitting, and I understand why the association turned them down.
And they need to understand that the association said that their definition of politics, the NAACP's is you're involved in politics when you give money to a candidate or to a cause.
But the association really can make its own definition.
They said, no, that's not our definition.
Yeah,
our
that's
definition
right.
is being involved in a political organization.
That's
we
right.
would just as soon not do that. And as far as I can see, that's something that can be done because we're talking about private contract rights.
That's right.
This is not a public area.
That's
this
right.
is privately held by a specific number of homeowners.
Members of that association.
And they should have the say on
That's
whether
right.
or not someone can meet there or not. It's just like someone owns a home and they have a big, nice backyard with a play area in the back. People can't just come off the street and you choose to use that.
Sure.
That's for the owners of that property.
We're invoking private property rights here. The NAACP says the reason they want to meet there is because several of their elderly members live nearby and are not able to make it to meetings due to mobility issues, which there's probably other solutions to that, like providing transportation and providing assistance to get people to the meetings.
Yeah. Now the bottom line here on this whole thing, with I guess how we probably feel about it, the fact that the NAACP wants to meet in an association, that's fine. It's fine that they ask.
Of course.
But it's also fine that the association determine whether or not they allow that to take place.
The association said no.
I'm happy that at least it looks at in reading this, I didn't see anywhere where the leader of that branch of the NAACP was going to try and take it to court. You know, we've seen that, but we've seen that before.
Push it to the nth degree. However, she was quoted as saying that she thought it was a racial issue.
Yeah. And to me, that again is just.
I think that's taking a leap. I think that's taking a leap.
Yes, it is. It's going too far. When people do that, when they take a leap, like you said, you lose credibility.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah. Well, that's that particular story. Let us go to our next story, and we'll begin to frame this here.
Yeah, it's kind of a big topic, isn't it?
Before we get to our last segment. Folks, if you remember that during the State Fair, we talked about an issue that some congressmen are trying to deal with, and that is, what do you do with all the homes that are underwater? They estimate that probably a fourth of all homes with mortgages are probably underwater, or there's more owed on them than what they're worth.
So Congress, because of who they are, thinks that government can help control the situation and help forestall future foreclosures or the growth of foreclosures.
And what they want to do is use something that government has had at their disposal called eminent domain.
Okay.
Now, in eminent domain, that is where the government says we have the right, because of the public good,
right, to take over this property.
To take over the property, and
usually that'll be something like because they have to put in a new road, for example, or they have to widen a road, or they have to do something to protect the neighborhood.
A school, a hospital.
There you go. It's something to benefit the community. And right. And so eminent domain means they can take possession of that property. Of course, they pay the owner for the property, don't they?
Yes, but and they're supposed to pay them what's called fair market value.
Okay, all right.
The problem is that they're getting by being able to take a slap at the face of many banks, because the fair market value of properties that are underwater aren't what is owed to them.
So in this proposed solution, it would be the banks that they are slapping around.
Yeah, exactly. So what they're saying is, okay, fair market value for this home is $200,000. Whoops, you've got a $300,000 mortgage.
Because 4 years ago it was valued at $350,000.
Yeah, and so they want to say, mortgage company, take the $200,000, and we'll see ya. Well, we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what are the consequences and how is something like this even possibly going to work. Back after these messages.